said all along, baseball players and hockey players have been doing this for years, and nobody has a problem because they're predominantly white and they go to the minor leagues and don't make a lot of money. What people struggle with in letting kids come out early, particularly out of high school to go, is what they see is a lot of black kids going and making major money, and they don't like it. They don't think it's fair that those kids get to be that wealthy that soon. You'll never go on a show and have people calling in saying that kids should not be able to get out of high school and sign a baseball contract or a hockey contract. You never hear it, ever. But with basketball, it's a hot button issue.
One and done rule about race. Does Stan Van Gundy have a point? Stephen A.
It's beyond a point. It's 1,000% on the money. It's one of the reasons I love Stan Van Gundy so much, because he's always honest, if nothing else. This is a man that was a head coach in Orlando for years. He was a head coach in Miami before that. He's compiled, a 371 and 208 record, winning 64% of his games. The man knows how to coach, but more importantly, he knows the game itself. He was an assistant for years as well under Pat Riley. The man knows what he's talking about. He's right on the money, and I encourage his candor and his bravery in saying something that I believe not only he feels, but practically anyone and everyone associated with the NBA feels, by the way. You'll never hear words like that come out of Commissioner David Stern's mouth, but it's not an accident that Commissioner David Stern, who's about to retire in February, who I've had my run-ins with over the years, Skip, I have profound respect and admiration for this man, because I have watched that man walk to the defense of players in the NBA for decades, and a majority of them were black, anywhere from 70 to 80%, and sometimes more than 80%. We know what time this is, people. We understand what's going on here. Stan Van Gundy said it clear. You have people within our community who aren't black, who resent the fact that young black players are getting these dollars. Now, that does not mean that white folks feel this way. It means some people feel that way who happen to be white. Do you understand what I'm saying? It means a system happens to feel the way. And by the way, I'll dare tell you right now, some black folks have a problem with some of these black athletes getting paid this amount of money because of the time in which it's giving to them. But where you see black folks jump off the bandwagon, whereas white folks who feel that way wouldn't, is that black folks are sensitive to the quote-unquote system in place that's designed to sit there and you know, when you look at baseball, for example, I brought this up. You go through a minor league system. You understand? They call you up, okay? So there's a waiting period there. We don't like that. You look at it from a hockey, like Stan Van Gundy pointed out. But when you see people that play tennis, they play young. You don't hear anything about that. You have a problem with the sport of basketball because it's exorbitant dollars that have been brought out there. You know what else is a piece of proof, Skip? You haven't heard the complaints resonate nearly as much as it did in years past once the NBA implemented the rookie wage scale. Because the second you implemented the rookie wage scale and you didn't come out of college like Glenn Big Dog Robinson, somebody did, signing for $69 million, or Jason Kidd with Grant Hill, signing for $44 million, okay? But you look at today's game and you see people coming in under the guise of the rookie wage scale. It gives the impression, and it's actually literal, where you have to wait your turn, so to speak. Got to come into the pro level, got to prove yourself. So the implementation of the rookie wage scale, combined with the NBA's developmental league, where some folks are going there, all of those things have contributed to lessening the noise about it. But it still doesn't completely eradicate what Stan Van Gundy said. You have people complaining about players in the NBA because it is considered, for the vast majority, for most folks, to be a black league. You see them complaining about NBA players where they wouldn't complain about that with baseball, they wouldn't complain about that with hockey, they wouldn't complain about that with Hollywood. You could go there, you could make $20 million a film. It's not a problem. But we got a problem with basketball players making this amount of money. Stan Van Gundy's right on the money. There's no question.